One of the best technique of irrigation is the drip, or sometimes it is called as a trickle irrigation. Here, the image of a drip irrigation. You can see there is a lot of connection, uh, which is showing in this image. See, at the uppermost side, there is a main water source. So by using the mechanical device or the pump, we can extract the water, or we can draw the water from the water surface. Then we can store this water at the overhead tank. In the overhead tank, we can mix the fertilizer also, but if uh, avoid for avoiding the clogging of or if the fertilizers are not mixed properly, then the clogging will occur. So for reducing this problem, overcoming this problem, what we were done, after the storing the water in the overhead tank, we are again connecting, or we are again adding a fertilizer tank. Then we have a filter unit. After mixing the fertilizers with the water, if some particles are left out, then in the filter unit we can filter it out. If there is a debris and if the large particle is there, so we can filter it out successfully. Then there is a pressure regulator. By using this pressure regulator, we can control the pressure of a water supply. So how much quantity of a water is actually required for the particular crop. So we can control this pressure by using the pressure regulator. So then again there is a main line. So through this main line, we are going to supply our water to the crop. So again, ahead the main line, you can see the secondary line, which is divided into a two ways, or in the two directions. So before supplying into the secondary line, there is a discharge regulator. So by controlling the pressure, the how much pressure is required, and at what pressure the water is to be supplied through the secondary line is decided at the pressure regulator. And the discharge regulator, the amount of the water having a certain pressure is going to discharge through the secondary line. Again, the secondary line consists of the various trickle lines. So because of this trickle lines is connected and consisted, that's why this method is also called as a trickle irrigation. So you can see there are a number of trickle lines are connected to the secondary line. So through this trickle lines, again you can see there the nozzles, the N which is showing here, N is the nozzle. So these nozzles are connected to the trickle lines, and these nozzles are fitted at the root of a plant, at the root of a plant, so that with the proper pressure, with the proper discharge amount, the water is successfully supplied directly to the root of the plant. So the erosion will be definitely eliminated, evaporation losses will be eliminated, percolation losses will be eliminated. That's why this is the best technique or best mode of applying of water. I hope you understand this image. Let's discuss further points. As we had discussed, it is also known as a trickle irrigation. In this method, water is applied in the form of a drops directly near the base of the plant. Obviously, water is conveyed through a system of a flexible pipelines operating at a low pressure and is applied to the plant through the drip nozzles. It permits the water supplied for consumptive use of the plant by maintaining a minimum soil moisture equal to the filled capacity, thereby maximizing the savings. The wastage of water is totally minimized. It permits the fine control on the application of water and nutrients at steady frequencies. It is suitable for all the types of crops except the paddy crop. It is suitable for all the type of climate as well as suitable for all type of a soil. If your soil is permeable, impermeable, less pervious, highly pervious, then you can also use this technique of irrigation. Then it is suitable for the all the climate. It is useful in the monsoon, in the winter, in the summer. But basically, when there is a less availability of water, then we can use this technique for saving the much water quantity. So, drip irrigation arrangement, see, as we had discussed by observing the images, again, let's see what are the arrangements or what are the components of a drip irrigations are. A pump, which is required to lift the water. A head tank, which is used to store the water and to maintain a pressure head of a 5 to 7 meter. Then central distribution system, which is uh, connected and which is fitted with the filter system, which is fitted with the fertilizer tank. See, it is used to filter the water to add a nutrient and regulate the amount of water that is to be applied. So if you remember, if you again want to see the image of a, you can see thus this is known as a central pipeline which is connected a fertilizer tank and filter unit and pressure regulator. So this is known as a central distribution system. So central distribution system consists of a fertilizer tank, then the filter unit and the pressure regulator. Then mains and secondary lines, which is helps to maintain the proper discharge, made up of a polyethylene, a PVC or alkylthylene material having a diameter of 20 to 40 mm. Then it consists of a trickle lines, which is made up of a PVC pipe having diameter of a 10 to 20 mm fitted to the secondary lines at a distance equal to row spacing of a crop. Mostly we are adopted this spacing as a 75 centimeter. Then we have a plastic nozzle. So these nozzles are seated at the root of the plant. So it is having a perforations which is attached to the trickle lines. It distributes the water at slow rate ranging between 2 to 10 liter per hour depending upon the irrigation requirement of the crop. So these are the main component of a drip irrigation technique. Advantages, it has lots of benefits. See, it the less requirement of irrigation water, obviously, water supply at the optimum level so that we can reduce the wastage of water, we can reduce the other losses also. Waterlogging avoided. Highly, we can take the highly it. Weed control, we can control the weed. Then cultivation of a cash crop. Then no over irrigation, so variation in application rate. Effective pest control. We can add the fertilizer. We are adding the fertilizer. So we are supplying the fertilizer with the water. Simultaneously, we are supplying the water with the fertilizer. So effective pest control, reduced labor cost, no soil erosion. It is suitable for any topography. It requires a maintenance at of high surface temperature. So these are the advantages. Like a positive or like a benefits, we have a ill effects also. So what are they? See, obviously the systems consist of the lots of arrangement. The component parts are made up of a PVC pipe, and it requires very uh, different control panels and different regulators. So the its initial cost is high. So the blockage of a nozzle will occur definitely if after the filtering process also, if there is a certain amount of silt, or if there is a certain amount of debris is present in the water, so it may block the nozzle. Then change in spacing of a nozzle, shallow root depth of a crop. Certainly, mm, it is not adopted for the shallow root depth of a crop. So these are the disadvantages of a drip irrigation.